I know the smell of thyme, shadon benny, garlic, ketchup, soy sauce, sesame oil and burnt. Well, I was born in Dublin. I went to Trinidad when I was 3 months old. So the Irish thing is just a bit of a lark. I've lived here in Canada since I was 19 years old. You know, coming from an Indian family, even though it's Indian Trinidadian, there's a sense of family and culture, a closeness, a bond that I really yearn for. So there's a lot of going back to Trinidad, going back to the family, trying to pin down what I once knew so well and no longer have. I was making poems and writing short stories and so on that tended to get me in trouble with my parents when I was very, very young, because I would say things like end a poem with the 2 lines that were like, man loves woman, man loves man, woman loves woman, which terrified my parents of what that might possibly mean for my future life. And this was like when I was about 10 years old. So I quickly learned to put the words away and to put my creativity towards painting. My writing took off quite unexpectedly. When I was asked by a publisher to write for them, I kept saying, no, I'm not a writer, I'm a painter. I just do this other stuff for fun. And then in my first novel was, you know, shortlisted for the Giller and for the book, longlisted for the Booker Man Prize and a number of other prizes. And that took me quite by surprise and on an entirely different track. Now I'm going back to photography and painting, and I continue to make videos. So I don't know where this comes from, but I have a sense that no matter what I'm doing, it's all the same. It's all the same in terms of how I will approach it. But there are things that I love, like the cooking, the writing, the photography, and yes, I will put the same kind of effort. In terms of food, it's not so much about nurturing for me, though the person that I am in love with will always be well courted with food. But I love entertaining, and there is a lot of that in my books, you know, in my novels. People are always entertaining. They're always very aware of the cutlery, the settings, who's coming, who's eating, and who's not, you know, and that sort of thing. His words fell, at least at first, like glass coins in a bottomless bucket, rigging against the bucket's sides, but never landing, if only because, for the most part, his stories were devoid of what I needed from him. His memories of him and me, and an explanation, just a few words of explanation of why he left and made no effort to be in touch.